Hello, everyone, and welcome to more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. It's been a good bit since the last episode. Um, Funny enough, this is being recorded after doing a lot of the 6.1 content. I had to actually sit down and do some of the 6.1. Oh, new game because of new game plot. I had to do some of the 6.1 to unlock the level 90 dungeon roulette. Um, which I mean, for the most part, what it is, it's basically the Dead Ends, Smileton's Stigma Dreamscape, and Elzadal's Legacy. But basically, this is an MSQ only dungeon, so I had to actually sit down and do that. Also, getting this far, completing this dungeon and such, allows me to unlock Aglaya and Svedelos and Abyssos and all that. So I've been enjoying going through that content. But as you might notice, I have a completely different hairstyle, which when it goes back to my past self will be back to the original. But that's because I really like this hairstyle. This is actually from the Island Sanctuary, and I might show that off a little bit in one of these episodes, just to kind of show what I've been doing on it. I'm not sure though. If I do, I might save that for when we get down to the 6.1 stuff, but I don't know right now. I haven't made the decision on that. But yeah, so we are back in Charlayan, ready to continue the start of 6.0 so that we can eventually get to the freaking... Oh, I really need to sell some garbage. But so that we can get to the freaking... I don't think there's a merchant anywhere around here that I can sell to, actually. Huh. Rip. Yeah, they're all the way up freaking here, I think. Somewhere. No? Yes. The Agora. That's what I was thinking they were. I scrolled into the Agora, and I think it was just because I was zoomed in or something, and I didn't see anything. So I kept moving on. Anyway, the important part is that we are here. We are able to now continue where we're at. Still with our level 90 Red Mage, of course. Though I've been doing a pretty good job at leveling the other classes along the way. So, I gotta say, Sage is definitely still the worst and dumbest healing class to exist in the game. But I can get into that perhaps while I'm doing, other stuff. Kassandra, shall we return to our exploration of Charlayan? Of course. All set? Then let's be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the Last Stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Creel is also now accompanying you. Lead your companions to the Last Stand and speak with Creel at the designated location. While you're accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way which offer additional topics of discussion. Enter the glowing area and speak with your quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings together. Was this really the first time this mechanic was introduced in the game? God, I've done this this is actually a regular thing in, the quests. This is one of my favorite mechanics. This is, just such a regular thing. I didn't even realize this was the first time that they ever did this. Just, in the game as a whole. Not even Like, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe Shadowbringers had done it, but no, I don't think so. With all the unusual wares coming and going at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer would be highly appreciated. See no reason why you couldn't undertake any tasks which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials, after all. I look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Charlene the same way it is in Eorzea. It's got a storage facility. This place is called the Peristyle, and is the first stop for cargo unloaded at the docks. You'll find the usual necessities for daily living and other imports vital to running an island nation, but also supplies that further Charlene's pursuit of knowledge, namely, large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. Sorting these stacks certainly seems to keep the attendants busy. Cool. Yeah, I'm so used to this being a regular thing. So, also, yay, I don't have to sit down and attune to every single freaking ether shard along the way like I did before. So, now that is a sight one could hardly forget, the great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Beldegian, I was usually quartered on the island of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Charlene people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, and alignments of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Charlanes can, and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. God, if only other religions were like that. No, other religions are like, you worship our God, or you die in some horrible manner. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlane tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. Yes, Archon loaf. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distinct second. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlene, the one and only bastion of culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu. I thought I've ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Charlane when it came to cheap and convenient Raha, but surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. Alrighty, up to the Aetheryte. And again, yeah, remember I'm on New Game. I'm doing this section on New Game Plus because I already did all of the other stuff. I'm hoping I'm really hoping it won't take long to get back to where I was. So, but I won't know until I finish recording, really, unfortunately. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's perfectly functioning Aetheryte. It's a perfectly functioning Aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, Being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlene stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allegon Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agoro, Charlane's largest marketplace. Oh. I'll stop and turn around here to go this way for a second, though. The Confluence. Speaking of Aetherites, those teleportation fees do add up after a while, which is why I tended to rely on the far cheaper ferry services. I was pleasantly surprised when Mistress Totero informed me that the Scions are reimbursed for transportation costs as part of our duties. I find old habits hard to break. That, and I'd rather not be bothered filing out the necessary paperwork. Can I get that? Can I get that reimbursement? I'm a Scion. And I wouldn't have to spend so much on freaking Aetherite travel. That's the entrance to the Confluence. I have no doubt their expertise will prove useful at some point, so I suggest you remember the way here. It will indeed, actually. And do remember that once we get to Tower of Zot, it will be going back to the past me in the past, who hasn't done any of this content. So at that point, like, all reactions and everything are going to be completely, like, genuine and be like, hey, this is how, this is exciting, Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return later then. Yeah, it won't be a moment with him. Sorry, I have hiccups all of a sudden. These little open-air bookstalls are so uniquely Charlayan. I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Just these little open-air bookshelves. Just, just sitting out there, so. I wonder okay. Yeah, she's still, okay. Or no, wait, that's not who I'm thinking of. There's a shop here. Yes. Right here, actually. This is what I was wondering, if this shop was here or not. So, okay. Interesting. So I can't buy the level 90 gear while I'm on New Game Plus, which is fine. Frick. Welcome to the Agora. Where's something that I missed? They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which is particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, and climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. Wow, I was getting that voice wrong at first. I realized. So, oh well, it is what it is. And up we go to the Rostra. I don't think I ever figured the name out in my playthroughs either. And these little decorative features are typical of Charlayan architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is an Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charlayans, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Cool. Yes, so we'll learn all about that. Not too long from here, actually. When we go to the library, we'll learn all about the flood that occurred. This grand structure before you is the rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. The Journey's End. Right on this way. Right over this way. The Journey's End. There is... Let me see. Okay. I think there's dialogue after this one, so... We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us this was where those who put ashore with Archon Nyunkref built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as a residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Sharlayan families. You'll see one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Leviu. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to a close. Hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldesian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. Head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Aetheryte Plaza? Correct. After you, Kassandra. So yeah, now it wants us to go this way. That way we have a chance at hitting this Aetheryte here and this Aetheryte here. So especially this Aetheryte. Because that's the actual Journey's End Aetheryte. But yeah, it wants us to go down this way. I think I didn't originally. I was just like, oh, it wants me to go over here. So I started going this way and then noticed that there was a thing here. I actually had to cross the bridge here in order to get to this part. Right, we crossed the bridge here as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the Aetheryte Plaza. Starland is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences, because perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Nice. Alright, now we just gotta run over to the Baldosian Annex. And then, at long last, we will be at the big break in the story, where we can decide which zone will be our first zone initially. I'm going to do it the same order that I did before, just because I like that order, so. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldosian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you, then. Yay! Phenomenon! That's for later, of course. This is the Baldosian Annex. I'm back. I've brought Kassandra and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Raha. It's nice to see you again. I don't remember the voice I normally gave this person, so I'm just going to do this one. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Kassandra. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. I think this is a girl, but I will admit that I am not the most familiar with how to tell the difference with Lalafels. Oh chica sin chica, it's been an age. Allow me to introduce... Oh, nope, it's a guy. Wow, I always thought it was a female, so, whoop, I gave them a feminine voice each time. Allow me to introduce Ojika Sinjika, Administrator Office for the Students of Baldosian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Ejika? Did I? Oh yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Sharland. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while being engaged in such activities. Oh, that hiccup hurt just now. That was weird. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet, it feels so empty. So many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. That day will come when we will see the students rise again. Or the day, rather. But first, we must ensure that the Telephori fall. Through that door on the left there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please, feel free to make yourselves at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. Chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. 'Twas simply that we were often so busy with research, or exhausted from journeys abroad, that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few wings. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word, and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. I think Ojika has had a different voice every time. Oh boy. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Sure thing. Leandron, now accessible. Alright. So we could go into the Andron, but I'm not going to right now. We'll get a good look of it later. The most important thing right now is coming in here and speaking to Creel. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. And this is where I thought I had started recording. As it turns out, I was wrong. We have quite a bit more to go. Like, this was for the length of my recording. This was where I was sure that, like, I had started the recording at, was, like, after this cutscene. It is not. So, we have a bit before, you know, I finish. Thank you, game. I, like, accidentally clicked out of the window somehow. I don't know how I did that. It was very strange. I was very confused.
テロフォロイの陰謀を阻止すること。それにつながる情報が得られそうな手段として、現状2つの調査があるの。1つ目、これはみんなも知ってるシャーレアンの異変。哲学者議会が不可解な動きをしているって件ね。あの議会は国民から選ばれた99人の議員からなるんだけど、それだけいれば外交についての考え方も当然いろいろあるわ。
Now that would be nice if everybody was like, if all of our people were elected from the general populace instead of, you know, whoever gets into office being based off of who has the most money.
例えば、ライブラリアンと呼ばれる一派は歴史の記録者に徹することを重要視して徹底的な不干渉を進めている。一方で他国との協力に前向きな議員もいるわ。ルイゾワ様やうちのガラフおじいちゃんに近い考え方ね。ただ今回エオルゼアからの要請を断った件については派閥も主張も関係なくみんな協力できないの一点張り。気になったのはその中に今は他にすべきことがあるという口ぶりの人が少なからずいたことよ。
グリダニアで聞いた古篠さんの言葉もそうだった。まるで終末ってものを理解した上で別の行動を選んでいるかのような。
We'll find out.
そこを私だけじゃなくみんなの力を借りて調べたい。2つ目はつい先日バルデシオン委員会に届いたある依頼に関する話なの。そもそもうちは世界各地にある未解明なものを研究する組織よ。異物や異行、魔法なんかをね。だからこそ排他的になりがちなシャーレアンの組織の中でも外とのつながりが特に強い。 各地に共同研究者や協力者がいるの。
There's the map.
今回連絡をくれたのはサベネア島に住む錬金術師のニッターナ。
Thavnair.
どうやらあちらにも塔が出現して異形の万神が呼び出されているみたいなの。
The Lunar Primal.
サベネア島を領有するラザハン、その長にあたる大主の指示のもと、錬金術師たちが塔の攻略法を探しているそうよ。
かの地の錬金術といえば非常に古い歴史を持ち、ウルダハ式とは異なる体系を有している。塔についてエオルゼアや東方にはなかった見識も、あるいは得ているやもしれません。
Oh my gosh.
実際何か方策があるみたい。その研究のためにできるだけ戦闘に長けた光の加護を持つ人を紹介してほしいという依頼だったわ。
となると手分けをするとしたら、あなたにはサベネア島へ行ってもらうべきかしら。
Indeed.
週末に関わることだから、シャーレアンの調査にも加わってほしいところだけれど。
Also true.
そうなのよね。
And this is where our big split in quests is.
忙しくさせちゃって申し訳ないけれど、あなたにはどちらにも手を貸してもらえると嬉しいわ。順番はお任せするから。
And this is where World of Warcraft would be like, pick one. You don't get to see the other side. I like Final Fantasy. I like that they let you see everything
それじゃ
with one
他の
character.
みんなの割り当てを決めておくわね。
One character can do all of the content.
引き続き私が。それから賢人を持っている人の協力が欲しいの。
閲覧できる資料を増やしたいということね。いいわ、私が協力する。
そういうことなら俺も。調べ物ならそれなりに力になれそうだしな。
よければ私とアリゼもそちらに加えてもらえないだろうか。
I'm
お
hoping
父
that
様や
these
哲学者議会が何を考えてるのか少しでも知りたいの。
I'm hoping that these will start going up pretty soon after I've like recorded these episodes. Like it's getting ridiculous at this point.
ぜひ二人の力を貸して。
Like I started recording Endwalker back in December, like the 27th or something like that. It was just after Christmas. And it's like as of time of recording, I'm actually currently posting a Super Mario World playthrough that I'm doing for Mario Day, which is today as of the time of recording this. So, you know, it's probably June when, or like later when you're seeing this, but happy Mario Day. From like 3 months in the future probably.
なら残りのメンツでサベネア島の様子を見てくるとするか。
It would be nice though if I could like have this going up by like April or something.
お前もそれで構わないか？
Unfortunately, I have a lot going on all the time.
Oh.
It's hard to
サベネア
freaking
島なら帝国に潜入した時に経由したからな。案内できるほどじゃないが、多少は土地勘がある。
like it's hard to freaking like be able to record multiple series all at once. Luckily, as soon as I'm done with Endwalker and I start posting these videos, this will never be an issue again. Like, if I go back and do Shadowbringers, or I start, continue doing like 6.1 to 6.2, 6.3, etc., all of that is just going to go out when it goes out. Like, when it gets recorded, basically. The only reason I'm doing it this way is because I wanted the first episode to actually be the beginning of Endwalker. And being that Endwalker had 2 parts, I was hoping that at some point before the end, New Game Plus for Part 1 would unlock, and it didn't. I had to actually get all the way to the end before both of them unlocked, which I really dislike. I really wish Part 1 had just unlocked when Part 1 was available. But, yeah, like, if I go back to do Shadowbringers or Stormblood or anything like that, I'll just post the videos as I'm recording them. And the reason I'm not taking these videos and immediately posting them up and being like, hey, here's Endwalker, like, I've recorded 1 episode, now here's 2, is partially also because of the fact that I'm having to do this weird, like, recording later stuff and then coming back to it. Doing the first videos after doing everything else thing. I want to just get everything out and finished before I start posting, and then I can just post them consistently, and I don't have to be like, here's it, the first episode of Endwalker was recorded like 3 weeks ago, and this is the second episode, I think. So, like, I don't want to be like, here's the first episode of Endwalker, and then 2 weeks later, here's the next one, And then, like, that happens every, like, 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden there's a steady stream after that, I want to just be able to get it all out. But once, if you're seeing this right now, and that means that everything from 6.0 has been recorded. So, all of the episodes are recorded, they're all done, they're coming, it's just a matter of me doing that now, and then, getting it out for you, so. Meanwhile, I'll just continue my SC colonies. I actually have to sit down and like do some work in that. Alright. And so, quest is completed. And it's on to Labyrinthos and Thavnair. It's going to be real interesting because I have not been to, like, old Thavnair since, I did all of this. Like, I've been to Thavnair multiple times, but there's going to be stuff that exists now that doesn't exist later, hitting the books. I want to do Thancred first. For Thavnair Bound. Thancred is eager to set forth for Thavnair. Alright. I have Creel's instructions in hand. If we're ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Creel was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence We'll take ourselves there. Ah. The confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, under whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Monbrita. I had completely forgotten about Monbrita by this point. I actually commented on that when I was doing this on my own initially. I was like, I completely forgot about all of that. It has taken me a year to get through all of this, so if not longer, possibly. Monbrita was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Gosh dang it. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let's be off. When we arrive, we shall look for a researcher named Kite. Now, I think I started... Oh, it locked me out of Creel's. Must not have a New Game Plus quest currently in progress. Nice! So originally you're just able to pick up both of these. And then you can just do them however you want. But New Game Plus, forces you to go one path and one path only at a time. Which is really fun. And I kind of actually like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it's open-ended and you can do whichever one you want in their, normal playthrough. But I kind of like the fact that New Game Plus is no, you've done this before. You don't have to worry. Yeah, we know that you've, done all of this. And so it doesn't matter, what order you're doing this and such. So you're just gonna do it, straight. So, also there's a person sitting here with a box, and I just haven't even, touched that quest. But it's there in the non-New Game Plus version, I suppose, is the right term. So, nobody else is here yet. I'm the first one to arrive. There they are. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Oh my god. I can never get this, phrase right. My library books are overdue again. And not to our knowledge, associates of Creel of the students of Baldesion, we seek passage to Thavnair and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard. Well then, allow me to explain. So, in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurtling along the life stream. An inconvenience, but incontrivable limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly? That changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherytes, but the aetherytes themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that of our first test pair of aetherytes, one has been installed here in Shadowland, and the other over in Garlemald, a port town in Thavnair. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzat, and indeed, we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherytes. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherytes were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. Far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mr. Creel truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, our Master Wilson and Mistress Bloweed are not present today. Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetheryte Plaza. I'll be along shortly. I'm hoping that this does the mechanic that I thought was really cool when I did these. When I did this the first time. There's actually a really interesting thing that it does when you're in Thavnair for the first time. I'm assuming it'll probably do it again, but I don't know, as I haven't done this on New Game Plus before, so. The only thing I've New Game Plus is back in freaking Realm Reborn, if you saw those videos. Actually, well, yeah, no, I did do New Game Plus back then. I mean, I also used Kazumi back then, but I did live streams to finish ARR. So.
いや、俺は現地で交換してるから自力で飛べる。
検体が減っちゃうのは残念だな。まあ、しょうがないか。それじゃ残りの3人だけこっちに並んでくれる
？Alrighty. Time to definitely not have anything negative happen.
その辺で OK。起動するからリラックスして待っててね。あ、言い忘れてた。これで転移するとちょっとだけエーテル酔いがきついからお大事にね。
might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. I love that. I like that Ariante's like, right before you teleport. It's like, wait, what did she just poop? And Thavnair's like, wait a minute. The main character, though, is just like, okay, this is the thing. Pop. Whee! And now we're over to in Thavnair. Or at least we will be when the loading screen finishes. There it is. We're going from here. I like that it's actually like aetherite teleporting. Instead of, traveling through like a line or something like it usually does. It actually goes and just teleports over.
ラザハンの都を有するサベネア島。北上海の南東に浮かぶその豊かな島では、異種族同士の戦いと衝突が繰り返されてきた。その度に文化は混ざり合い、独自の発展を遂げている。さながら彼らの用いる錬金術のようだ。一つの国として安定してから中立を宣言し、侵略者を寄せつけずにいるが、さて。
Man, I haven't seen one of those towers in so long.
国際式の島を悪意が塗りつぶし始めている。お前たちはそれをそれを
I like that the Stydian pops in and is just like, are they alright? It's like, what happened here?
本当にどうにかできるのか
I like that even the narrator got ethereal sickness. That's so funny. It's one of my favorite scenes. Teensy-weensy bit of violent ethereal sickness.
大丈夫ではなさそうだな。とりあえず飲み物でも買ってくる。そのまま待っていろ。
Don't let him go. He's bad at money.
なあ、クルルからの指示書に書き添えてあったんだが。
What do you mean, a note?
エスティニアンは金銭感覚があれだから一人で買い出しはさせるな。
I remember laughing so hard at this the first time. It's still just as great. What? Now you tell me. We're doomed. You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? Yes, it is. It's still gonna do it. I love that. There he is. Yep, there it is. Ether sickness slows you down. Ooh! It's like, I think this is really great. You there, I need 3 drinks, something that helps with ether sickness. But by the Manasuya, a traveler. Greetings. Greetings and welcome. Wise, good sir, to come to me. A special Amra Lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavnair, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not one, not two, but 3 bottles. Bargain amongst bargains. 19,000. Price is high road robbery. I wanted to say as much, Justinian. But you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Justinian and, using gestures, deny that the deal is fair. / deny. No. Don't do it. Thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. The merchant is swindling me. What? It's a sincerest apology, sir. I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. Literally 10 coins less. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Rip. He still gave him just as much. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. It literally just dropped it by 10 coins. I'll be back after I've explored the town. This is like, welp. That didn't go very well. That said, I feel like I remember the ether sickness being a much bigger, problem. Because, I got here no problem. But, I feel like I remember it, hitting you regularly as you went there and all the way back. Maybe that's a New Game Plus feature, though. So, I'm a little sad that it's not the same as it was. I get it. It does make it go a little faster not doing that. But I kind of liked the idea that, we're actually suffering from, ethereal sickness. And so, therefore, I'm actually having to deal with that, I thought that was actually really fun. Please, and praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Justinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time? Excellent. You spared us the terror's wrath. Special Amra Lassi. So, the quest reward for this was the Amra Lassi as well. That's where the 3rd bottle comes in, so. Sweet relief. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. But yeah, it was actually the quest reward was the Amra Lassi, so. Was 1 bottle of Amra Lassi. Right. I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. I've bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat sort of shedding my armor. I ask where you got the cord for it. A local vendor. Man says it's a Thavnarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. 9,400 gil! 9,400 gil. That's crazy. 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. It's nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Elfino could hold a candle to you. He's remarkably bad with coin. It's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? Are all Hainish merchants so unscrupulous? I expected the Azure Dragoon to put up more of a fight. Doesn't it seem a little excessive here, though? Don't the prices seem a little excessive? I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It does seem excessive, unusually so. Claiming Thavnair as its domain, the nation of Vazat-Han hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning there were the Kassandra, a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, I just did all three voices. So I'll tell you what happened. I read Urianger, thought, oh, that's not Urianger, that's Thancred. And so then I started doing Thancred, and I went, no, wait, that's not Thancred. That's Estinian. I was like, that's Estinian saying something. And then I was like, wait a minute, no, that's Thancred saying it. And as I started to do Thancred, I went, I'm dumb. It says, I had the voice right the first time. It was freaking Urianger. My reading, if people tell me that my reading comprehension is really, really good, I struggle to see it. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hainish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over. Development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Vazat-Han, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, giving the merchants of the gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye, we've not to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Krill's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Garlemald? Sure. Excellent. Didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Alright. On low tide, his stomach behaving once more, Thancred is ready to get to work. Right. Let us split up and make inquiries in town. Kassandra, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte. Off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. Well, at least we can attune to it this time. And that might be another reason that it wasn't as heavy, is because, like, originally I had to, like, walk over this way as well. But I still think that it probably was lessened specifically for New Game Plus. This is somebody that's dealing with the ether sickness. They started wandering before they finished the quest line. They're like, oh yeah, I'll start wandering, and then BAM! They're hit with the ether sickness. Then they're probably like, oh, this is a thing that's not just gonna, like, you know, stop happening until I do this quest. Crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they have been left too long. There's definitely not a dungeon right there. Nope. You don't see it. I'm surprised that that's, like, there. in New Game Plus mode. I would have figured that would have disappeared. That is a later dungeon. Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels further away. Compared to other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. I'm definitely... There's no dungeon there. Nope. There's not a dungeon here. Not at all. What am I doing? Oh, wait. This is... Yes. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit. I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible, but I suppose things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat, like Kalzal. I don't envy his position, but I had to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kalzal a visit. He'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Salt Wind Sails, a harbor guild building across the water from here. Right over there. Man. Kalzal. Sorry, I'm sure everybody who is watching these videos has played Endwalker, but still. I'm trying not to spoil things too much just in case. Well now, if it is a traveler, no rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared on Naraner. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion, but no, had to spawn fell fiends as well. Still have our lives thanks to the Radiant Host. Business is as good as dead. What'll become of us only the gods know. That doesn't seem too good. Man, I love this music so much. Hi, Kalzal. I completely forgot who this guy was at one point. The Dalmaskins aren't coming, so we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's the tower sitting on our doorstep spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. This will be an enormous loss. Alright, forget about the Dalmaskins. So at least some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial handish favorites. Our consortium works closely with merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things cause all I do, which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are? Wait, a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. No, sorry. I see, that's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Excuse me? Excuse me. My name is Matsuya. I'm here to see Kalzal. Trying to actually do Matsuya's voice because Matsuya has lines later. Oh, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. It was very much not the voice I expected him to have either. Like the first time I was reading that dialogue, I was like, oh, he's an elephant. So I'm like thinking this deep voice, like, you know. And then in some of the voice cutscenes, you hear this like high squeaky. not squeaky per se, but higher pitched voice. And I was like, oh. Yes? Can I help you? Ah, I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Kalzal too, did you? I'm Matsuya, a member of Akiali, a nearby village. I saw my catch to Kalzal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't bought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free, anyway. He's a hard-working man, I dare not disturb him. A fisherman's friend. Matsuya regards you with something. If I may ask, what is it that you do? I adventure. I'm a hero. An adventurer, you say? You travel the world helping people. Then, that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? Oh boy, I wonder if I can actually do this. See, I brought some fresh fish with me. The portion I couldn't preserve. I want to sell them. The problem is I'm terrible with people. I've ever only dealt with Kalzal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peel the fish in my stead and show me how it's done? I'll try. If you're willing, please let me know. We can begin at once. Trash player. That was the guy that would a couple minutes ago that was dealing with the ether sickness. Events cannot be skipped. You'll do it then? Show me how to deal with customers? I mean, you're dead. Right, please try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Garlemald. I will observe you and learn. Matsuya is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed. If you wish to speak with Matsuya, if you wish to pick him back up, he'll be at the original place, yada yada, all that, yada, blah 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 blah. I really like this mechanic. I'll say a lot more about it, when past me takes over. I'd rather not rehash the dialogue that I've already said 3 other times. So, but I really do like this mechanic. So. Yes? Greetings, friend. How fare you of late? Fish, I got fish here. Fresh fish. Straight from the sea's bottom to your mouth. I don't remember which one I did last time. I think... I'm trying to remember what I did last time so I can try to do different. I only got, one person with, the good dialogue. I think I did this one. How fare you of late? Greetings to you too. Suppose I'm well enough given the situation. Things have settled down somewhat, but it was utter chaos when that tower first appeared. Everyone grabbing whatever they could, trampling over each other to get to the city. Many remain there for now, but I could not stay away. Had to come back. Continue with my life, such as it is. Although or not it was the right choice, only time will tell. It's too risky out there, maybe you ought to move to the city too. To a place like home, but don't do anything dangerous, eh? No, trust me, I don't. And make sure to keep well clear of the tower. And when more monsters emerge from it, I heed the Radiant Host's instructions. Hope they deal with it soon so we can get back to our normal lives. The days when you could earn as much as you gave. And tuck into a meal, satisfied that you did good work. Speaking of meals, why not have some fresh fish today? Those days will come again before you know it. Till then, stay safe! Because, again, I'm trying to sell fish, right? So it's it's hilarious that this is an option. So, I have some fresh fish today. Fresh fish, you say? Ooh, you're a fishmonger. When you bait me like that, how can I not bite? Very well, give me some of your fish. Yeah! We did it. So thank you for your custom. The catch of the day is shallow's cod. To delectable stewed in coconut milk or baked with a sprinkle of salt. Yeah! Hey, I did it this time! I utterly failed this the entire time last time. When you fail, Matsuya's like, well, maybe we'll get it next time. I felt really bad because I got nothing out of it. So, that said, that guy is clearly skipping the cutscenes. I'm assuming that they are an alt for somebody, which, I'm not gonna say people shouldn't make alts. I just don't understand why you would go through all of the work to get through all the stuff again. Like, you can literally play every class and do all of the content with one character. I don't understand why you would go through the trouble of going through all of the content again. Unless you're doing like a YouTube video. But some people actually are just like doing it to make a second character. So, a hawker are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? So, I wish to buy some armor. Let's say a dozen. They don't need to be export quality. Armor shramra. My fresh fish is the only thing you need. What do you need so many armor for? Why, for eating, of course. They seem like a lot, but of late I go through that much in no time at all. I'm a stock taker by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas. But not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this and that and this and that. All of it wears me down, and I find myself feeling constantly hungry. I know how you feel. Are you sure you're actually hungry? I know how you feel. Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit. I enjoyed our little chat. Took my mind off my troubles for a moment. Conversation ends without a sale. Whoops. I think I did that last time too. Never mind. If nothing else, you left it with a positive impression. Let's move on to the north side of town, shall we? Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to redo it to get the other one. Also, I am very aware that we're like beyond time. Because these are, hour long. I was gonna stop after I talked to Thancred, but then I got into it. I will end the episode before this quest is over. And then we'll go from there. Oopsies. I am good at navigating Thavnair. Yep. I am very good at navigating Thavnair. Very good. Definitely don't regularly go the wrong way all the time. Nope. Bazama. What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh, God, my stomach. Ugh. Ether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. I'm in my hurry to get back to work. I just ate a little too quickly. Just take it easier. Eat more slowly and savor your food. The fresh fish will settle your stomach, and mine are the freshest of all. Doesn't seem right. Would that I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like as not, circumstances will surely get worse before they get better. So I'm working as hard as I can while I still can. Better to be prepared. An industrious young man you are. How do you intend to prepare? By stockpiling supplies. For that I need to earn coins so I can buy food, medicine, what have you. About some fish for your supplies. They're freshly caught. Hi, well, fish wouldn't be bad. I don't want to go through the hassle of preserving them myself. I'd rather buy stuff that's ready to store. I'm afraid I'll have to pass on your fish. If you'll excuse me, I must be getting back to work. Oh. It's too bad we couldn't make a sale, but we did manage to build something of a relationship. Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was truly an eye-opening experience. A truly eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. Last time I got all three of them wrong. I at least got one this time. I actually did pick some different options. The problem is that it looks like when you pick like the right option, it goes further. And that was sort of my issue was I started to pick some of the right options, except that then got me into a space that I had never seen before. So I was like, oh, there's more to this than the last time I did this. And then I lost in the end. So oh well, it is what it is. Oh yeah, I was gonna stop before. Oh well, we'll stop after this and before I finish the quest, because this isn't the end of the quest yet. So thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. You managed to sell to one of the three people you approached. It was difficult, but when you put your mind to it, you succeeded. Though you did fail too, but there are lessons to be learned in both success and failure. By applying yours, I'll endeavor to become a better peddler. I bet that dialogue changes every single time, depending on how many. Still, it's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for Kalzol soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice. And who should it be but Matsuya? Kalzol, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me. Try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly anyone going out, there simply aren't any options at this rate. So, you can't buy my fish anymore? I'm sorry, Matsuya. I truly am, but for now you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I want to help you, I do. But as it stands, I can barely help myself. I've poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and family depending on me, and I can't. I won't fail them. And Sisters is my witness. Kalzol. And not to worry, using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage, somehow. Well, I best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. Aww. Alright, well this is a good spot to end off at. So, I do hope you have enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. Check the playlist for more episodes. Links to both Discord and Patreon. They do help support the channel. You know the drill by now, I'm sure, unless you're new to the channel, of course. Which I guess that makes sense. I am saying that mostly to new people, aren't I? Oh well. Anyway, I will see you all next time. See you later.